Welcome back to the HCS 4K. Up next, we've got Sentinels versus the Avengers. And Garrett, this is a big matchup because the winner of this series takes second place in their pools.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. And honestly, I don't know how it's going to go. Sentinels is on a huge upswing, right? We saw them during the Proton JJ events tournament where they won that convincingly, didn't like drop a map the entire time. But then we've also seen them have shaky performances in other online tournaments. They're on an upswing, but I don't know how far that swings. And then Avengers, I mean, they came out of nowhere, right? Swish gets dropped. Who thought that was going to happen, right? Mikowski, I mean, who drops a guy like Swish? And then suddenly he gets added to this roster, they get top 4.
Yep. Yeah, I love the addition of Swisher on this Avenger squad, really filling in as that DPS demon, the battering ram, opening up that mid-map, opening up a lot of angles here for the Avengers. And you look back at a Sentinels roster that, even at the beginning of the year, Garrett, many said could be top 2 or top 24. Still in that conversation is Sentinels, but they're leaning much more closer to that top 2 than top 24 like we saw towards the beginning of the season.
Like doing his best to hide in the corner, but the nades are coming through. They're trying to find him, and Huss hunts him down. Camouflage neutralized.
Sparty looking to fill in the gap left by Collect, but he's got Precision and Swish on the other side. Great sense of awareness here from Sparty. You see some players here pushing with reckless abandon, really try to, again, fill in that spot that Collect left, but the patience here from Sparty, such a passionate, emotional, aggressive player. We're seeing a little bit of a opposite here as he rushes in and gets backsmacked, but nonetheless, I like the patience there from Spartan, but I like the hold from Avengers even more as we've now got Swish, High Ground, and Shock Rifle.
All right, I think Avengers really took advantage of a patient play right there. There's players on this roster that love to play fast, right? Especially Spartan and Collect. If you can ensure that they're the ones to move their piece first, you can be waiting with the counterattack. Patient plays, let the ball move away, and before an attack can even happen, we're seeing 25 seconds of time. Swish lights up too with that shock rifle, and time is just moving in favor of this Avengers roster. Sparty is finally there, but there's just no one to help with this attack.
Wow, it's a 30 straight uncontested, and they're still going. Precision rotating. Gotta be careful, though. Almost rotating towards this Sentinel squad, but with Swish on the other side of the map, that's going to cause some distraction. I actually like that play there as he ultimately goes down. Precision and Huss still trying to potentially rotate it. They do have an opportunity to play that oddball out through that A door. A monster start here for the Avengers. The upstart, 50-0. Wow.
See Spartan, and it looks like he got away with that invis. Precision went flying down to try to take care of him, but they just weren't able to find him, and it's going to earn him a double kill. The problem is that Sentinels aren't in position to take advantage of those kills, and Huss he's flying with this ball. Spartan's trying to stop him from getting around that corner, but Precision gets the kill. And with one player left, Swish is trying to save this ball for his team. But it took 52 seconds of time before this Sentinels roster even touched the ball.
Look at Swish, though. This is an improvement from where he was last year. Not trying to make a play, not trying to force a play. Instead, goes down to no shields, recognizes when it's his time to disengage, dips back, waits for his team to spawn and push out together. And as a result, you have 3 going down for Sentinels. So often, Garrett, the last player alive. Precision with the stick. The last player alive is the difference maker there. It was Swish.
Yeah, Swish stays alive, and then after he gets those kills, he's the first player to rotate, get the spawns that his team wants, and to get this ball away. And now you're seeing Sentinels, they're going to have a tough road to try to break in. Huss with that noob combo gets the free pick on the first one, and as soon as Huss goes down, that lets Swish know, okay, either 1, I'm playing this ball, or 2, I'm rotating it early. He rotates it out into an open position, and this Avengers roster still has great sight lines for this play, but heads up mental from Lethal right there, getting the instant explosion with the shot onto grenade pad is gonna alleviate a ton of this pressure, and now it's just about finding this next couple of slays, getting this ball away, and cleaning up some much needed time.
And it's a reversal here now as Precision was the last player alive for Avengers, but he goes down shortly after. That causes a little bit of a stagger here for the Avengers, but they're playing really well off their back foot. Backsmack goes down. Neurotical pushes up. Collect's going to be forced to play this oddball. And just when you thought Sentinels was about to put some points on the board, they got to reset right away.
King Nick using that disruptor pistol to neutralize his opponents. Love to see that getting more and more use within the HCS. Expect to see that weapon in play so often throughout. Oh, what in the war? This is why you can't fight Collect. You put two of the best strafing players on a roster in Collect and Spartan. The way that Collect makes players miss is the best in the league by far. I don't care what anyone has to say. Collect moves different when it's the one-on-one engagement.
Hey, did you see Huss though? Huss had a little dance there to stay alive. Not only stay alive, but earn himself some oddball time. And I love this oddball scoring here for the Avengers. You have 3 out of 4 players, all with 20+ seconds. Here for Sentinels, you've got Collect as the only member of the team with the oddball time, and a guy like Collect who's really cracked really fast. Might need him to slay more, as we now have Sparty picking up that oddball as well, looking to put some bounce back here for the Sentinels. But with 91 points for the Avengers, you're gonna have to get a 30-second hold here or find yourself in a much uphill battle.
And you're already starting to see this push. Look at that shot from the plasma pistol. You're gonna see that happen so often, but this is game. There's no way Sentinels get anywhere close enough to stop it. We're going into round 2. Collect's doing his best. He's able to get the pick on the first, but Huss is there. As a miracle plays being made, but not enough to get them through. Look at this little tap on the grenade pad. Boom, get the kill. Love plays like that. And honestly, just a convincing round 1 from Avengers. There was moments from Sentinels, but nothing really stood out in that first round for them.
And for me, Garrett, nothing really even stood out for the Avengers. It wasn't like they were fragging out, just playing out of their mind. They only had a +5 disparity in slays. But the score at the end, I think only 30-40 seconds for Sentinels, made it look more like Avengers had maybe 8 to 10 kills over Sentinels. So it goes to show the efficiency is there for the Avengers. And when you look at them as an underdog, the lower seed in this matchup, they're going to need all the efficiency they can get, as they've looked really strong here in round 1. That was almost as dominant as what we saw Sentinels do to Optic in their game 1.
And I got an interesting stat for you here right now, and I feel like I maybe shouldn't be allowed to say this stat, because honestly, I feel like Sentinels, this might give them some much needed information about their play style. Collect, usually the ball holder for their team, he gets the most time, but they're 4 and 5 in oddball when he has the most time. When Collect focuses on the slays and has the most slays for his team, they win 100% of the time. So maybe an analyst is needed over at Sentinels, but I'd say you might want to Collect slaying instead.
No, that made me give the Rock eyebrow raise when I saw him like Collect with 30 seconds. Nobody else has, like, why is Collect the oddball guy when he's liable to go screw 31 seconds? He could go 31 and 15 in this oddball match, which is where I think you'd rather have him instead. So often in Halo, Garrett, you've got to play your role. So often in Halo, sometimes dying or losing objective can be a positive, so long as you're playing within that role piece, so long as you're playing your 25%. I think Collect going for all this oddball time is forcing him to play 30-35%, which means somebody for Sentinels is lacking 5 to 10% of their responsibility.
So far, I mean, look at the Sentinels hold that they have. Look how separated these players are. They have so much control of the map, but that does create weak surfaces that you can take advantage of. And Precision gets advantage of the first. He went for some crazy phase no scope. Precision looking to get on the trick shotting team, but it's not going to work out for him. Gets the damage, but not the kill. That ball out in open area, and Collect not really having a great opportunity to pick it up as his team's fighting over in the pit for camouflage. He's waiting and wait. As Neuronical pops his camo, but Collect is there. Collect needs to stop Neuronical before he can get away.
Oh, great awareness there from Collect. Getting the slay, doing, I think, what is in his role set. There we go, the double kill on Swish. Collect.
That's so sick.
This is incredible. 100% oddball win rate when Collect is leading the team in kills. So there's this dichotomy, this narrative at place, this fork in the road where Collect can either get the most oddball time or the most slay time, and you're forcing him to do both. This is not going to work out for Sentinels. I'm almost looking to see a little oddball toss here if I'm Collect towards a teammate, but instead he's just going to have to elect to toss the oddball off the map instead. But despite that, a nice 24 seconds of milk, but just like that, Avengers off the reset, they're now scoring.
You see a little interesting movement right there from Collect. He wasn't able to hit the movement tech that he was going for, but you're seeing maybe why they like him as a ball carrier is because he understands his movement extremely well. He knows how and when to move, right, and how to do it fast. So when you want a player that, you know, obviously you want to collect slaying, but sometimes you need a player that's not going to have any wasted time making sure that ball rotates quickly enough to ensure that it stays in your possession. But Avengers, they didn't need any of that quick technical thinking. Right now, they've just been getting holds, and they hold on to it. That ball carrier stays pretty standard, doesn't make any crazy movements, and they get 41 seconds of unanswered time.
Yeah, I just love the C hold so much because it's such a fail-safe, right? Let's say you do have a horrible hold, horrible positioning, horrible shots. You're almost always going to be allowed to reset that oddball. But here it's on Sentinels to earn that oddball reset, as they do a great job of that. And they're now trying to rotate that ball back to C to provide themselves some of that flexibility, some of that insurance you need here in oddball to milk not only the ball time, but the play ball as well, milking that time to rotate to the other side of the map. So often you'll see a team get a team wipe, and then they don't get the oddball back because the team has the play ball in hand. So seeing that here for the Avengers, why they're up double on Sentinels.
Sentinels not able to play that ball earlier in precision. He just soaks up as much of that time as possible.
There's the difference.
Sends it off the map, and now the reset. Who's in position to fight for it is the question. Huss trying his best to stay alive, but Lethal and Spartan team up to clean him up. The kill starting to go in favor of Sentinels, and this ball should go into their hands. Precision trying to be a one-man army in the back of pipes.
Precision, last player alive. So often we've seen the last player alive for Avengers make a clutch play to keep his team not only in it, but sometimes strong off the back foot. As we see another huge play, Precision goes down as the last player alive, but stays alive long enough to distract the attention from Sentinels as they go 3 down. Avengers coming off spawn with a vengeance, and they have the oddball now rotating to C as well. Sentinels in a little bit of a blender here.
Oh no. Precision, he's thinking about putting, this ball goes out into the middle because they know that they can't rotate it back to the play position in time, and now they're relying on Huss to make some play happen, but that's not going to happen. This is a huge break for Sentinels. They're going to be able to get some much needed time and to make a close game, but Swish just takes the one-on-one, and that's a little bit of an ego chow right there from Spartan. Sometimes you just have to give up on a fight. There's no reason to really sit there and try to get that kill at batteries when your teammates are spawning up.
And exactly, Swish was just bait for the teammates spawning up, and Neurotical and Huts, who pushed through on the blue side. All the attention going through that C-plat side with Swish. Honestly, Swish was ego challenging there as well, but he has the benefit of having the teammate support behind him, pushing in the opposite direction of the attention and lane he's taking up. So a huge play there from Avengers as that oddball is reset once again. Lethal with the game in his hands right here. 55 seconds left, down by nearly 50. Lethal needs to make a play here with camo and shock.
This has been so awkward for Lethal. He's not doing anything wrong, but Avengers just weren't pushing forward, and he didn't want to try to, you know, push out a little bit too fast and let that camo get picked off right away. Instead, though, he's just in the wrong position, which is so odd to say because he's right in the middle of the map, right? But Avengers play it perfectly, keep him isolated from the fights. They're able to get the kills, and Sentinels had that camouflage shock rifle combination, but it really makes no impact.
Less than 30 seconds left. 30 seconds separating these two teams because of it. Should expect Avengers to play Slayer all the way through the duration of this game. They're going to let that clock dwindle all the way down as the life source dwindles to 0 for Sentinels. All 4 dead. It's going to be a desperation push here, but even if they had 8 players on Sentinels, I don't think they could reach this oddball. This one should go to the Avengers. 1-0 lead for them.
Just finally break through, and just no time, right? You're seeing they were just baiting that ball out. No time for Sentinels to come back, and Avengers, I feel like they've had Sentinels number the last few times that they've played each other. Last time Sentinels played against the Avengers, it was a 3-0. The oddball was similar scoreline from the last time as well. It was a 2-0 round victory win for Avengers. I feel like something about this Avengers roster does not mesh well for Sentinels, and Sentinels, this is going to be a problem that they need to solve in this best of 5. You lost the first game, you have a little bit more time, but what is going wrong? How do we fix these mistakes? Because it was a convincing victory for Avengers, and this you're supposed to be on paper a team that's better than Avengers.
Well, the big difference here for me this game Garrett, was the fact that Sentinels, when they did earn team wipes or 3 down, you look across to the observer and you see Huss all the way on the other side of the map rotating the oddball time after time to see. And then when the push finally came, because Sentinels had massive numbers advantage, the oddball would get played and reset. Even if it wasn't played and reset into the drink, it was played and reset down to the stacks or down into the pit where camo spawns. Never really allowed Sentinels to play off their front foot. And for me especially, my God, this match, the intensity level is there for the Avengers. This match determines who gets second place in the pool. If you find yourself in third, you're starting in the lower bracket. So I want to see that sense of urgency here from Sentinels, knowing that if they go down in this series, they go down to the lower bracket to start Champ Bracket. That's not where you expect to be if you're a Spartan, Lethal, King Nick, or a Collect. These players are too good.
This match has a ton of implications for this tournament. Like you said, starting in the elimination bracket it's demoralizing.
It's GG's.
Yeah, it can absolutely check you out before you even get started. Oh, Huss is just so annoying. He takes the challenge on Spartan. Spartan eventually gets that kill. But you can see sometimes there's players where it's like, yeah, you get them one shot, but it's never free. It's always going to cost something to take that player down.
Good start here, though. A bounce back for the Sentinels. 4-2 to start, but the Avengers start the scoring once again. Oh, there we go. There's an overshield here for Collect. But the grenades go out. The pre-grenades are going to baby this overshield down to where Collect may not be able to utilize all of it, as he now has no overshield left. Able to get that kill on Huss. Now just has to make sure he doesn't trade out, maintains his life. Does a great job here staying alive, calling for some teammate support. Lethal just a little bit behind to it, though, as Swish has the backs of all of the Sentinels, pushes in on the cut side, steals the kill and the heat wave to boot. Great play there from Swish.
And Swish is just knocking him down, finding the weak entrances on the map. And this heat wave still, this is like 2 more kills worth of heat wave ammo. Lethal's gonna try to get away. The help is there, and great job by Lethal to bait in the power weapon player as Swish, take care of the problem on the map. And now look at the position of Avengers. They're all constricted on the map, playing very close with each other, but they don't really have much map control to work with.
Sparty anchoring the snipe tower. Collect does a great job recognizing the flank through the cuts. But meanwhile, on the other side, you got Huss taking down King Nick. Swish taking down Lethal. Collect now is going to have to overextend to where his teammates just died because of it. And he might go down as a result. He does, and he doesn't even get the trade on Huss. So it just goes to show the cause and effect. Those 2 players for Sentinels going down forced all of the attention towards B. Almost the reason why they didn't get this overshield. But Lethal able to grab it by the skin of his teeth and finds a sticky. That overshield going to keep him alive instead of trade. 1 HP left for Lethal and a 2-kill lead for Sentinels. Now 3.
And this Slayer, it's going to be close through and through. Last time these teams played, it was a pretty convincing victory from Avengers, right? 8 kills, but when you dive deeper into the game, it tells a different story. The damage was just about neck and neck, right? And that's where you're going to see the difference, is who can finish kills that are left on the table. Who can have the most value per damage is going to win this game, because both these teams, skill-wise, very similar. Damage output, very similar. Finishes, making sure that you don't leave anything on the plate, that's where Avengers have the advantage throughout their history.
Still a 3-kill lead here for Sentinels. 3 seconds till that sniper spawns. Sparty has the bait. I love this. Sparty not grabbing the sniper right away. And he didn't wait too long either. So he let the bait sit with that shroud screen, had the plasma pistol waiting on the other side, but didn't get the push. I love the process there from Sparty, potentially baiting the sniper grab like you might see with an overshield on this map instead.
Damage comes through. It's a double kill. Avengers seeing the respawn screen. This is where this game can change, right? You have Sparty with just about a full snipe, a massive kill advantage. You need Spartan to hit some big shots.
6-kill lead here. This is the topsy. This is the precipice lead right here. 2 kills make it a 2-possession game or a 1-possession game. Which direction is it going to go? Right now for Sentinels, it looks like he's going the other way, but no, it's back in Sentinels' favor, as it's a 5-kill lead now for them. So Avengers chipping away at it, but Sentinels equally as scrappy as this Avenger squad regained that kill lead of 6. And yeah, this one's topsy-turvy. This next overshield could really determine the game at the halfway mark.
That was an interesting 1-2 combo from Swish and Huss at the back tower. They were both one shot. So they said, well, we're gonna lose this 1v2 unless we both go into the 1-2 punch fisticuffs. And they were able to get a trade out. And now Huss getting some max value at top mid with a double kill. And Sentinels, they're all trapped at B. And you're starting to see the collapse. Huss and Precision moving forward. Swish flying to the door. All 4 of them are trapped at B. It's shooting fish in a barrel. All of them are falling down.
Oh, and is it a 1 possession game? Is it a 2 possession game? No, Avengers have it tied now, 28 all. And because of those recent slays, they now have the entirety of the map to their choosing. Huss electing to push up down this cut side of the map. Has Precision going down. Has to be careful he doesn't overextend here because there's a player waiting on the screen door. That's lethal. He's going to get you down. He does. Sentinels answer back strong there with the 2-kill lead now.
Yeah, I think Avengers just tried to ride that momentum of the slays that they had before. You got to remember that we're on a professional level. Every team knows how to adapt to situations. They know how to play when their back's against the wall. Great use of bait from Lethal to get those kills, and it's going to buy Sentinel some much needed space on the map to maneuver and find kills. And King Nick, he is running back to the safety of his team. He saw something he did not like over at C-Plat.
King Nick, though, does a great job staying alive. Calls for the bait and switch with Sparty. Love that play there. Keeping King Nick alive. Eventually goes down, but for the time being, it was a great play from Sentinels as they have a narrow 1-kill lead. No, this one's tied 33-34 all.
So, this map, it's all going to come down to who's more efficient with their damage output, who finishes the kills and doesn't let the one-shots get away. Lethal just barely misses this kill on Huss, but his teammates know what's up. They throw the spike grenade in, and it's a free kill. And once again, that's Lethal, who's made absolutely one shot at the back of tower, who's able to stay alive and keep that noob combo in his possession. Precision, he's taken a brunt of this damage, but somehow, some way, I don't know what it is. He prayed mid gunfight because through the will of something greater, that's the reason Precision's alive right there. I have no idea how that man survives.
Put yourself in Precision's shoes just there. You've got Lethal and Sparty sprinting towards you with a plasma pistol fully charged. Not only does he not trade out there, not only does he not go down there, he takes them both down without losing his life, maintaining this positioning here on the A side of the map. Has this one notched up 38 all. Garrett, this looks like we're heading to a close finish.
Lethal's position's known, and now it's a time for Avengers to try to take advantage of this. They have a player weak. You know that you can move across the map because of this, but the first player's caught out. There's no cleanups for the side of Avengers, and suddenly now they're scattered. There are people across the map and need to get to each other's help. Precision and Huss are not going to be able to get these trades. These kills are the ones that can make all the difference. Collect gets the double kill, and this push from Avengers gets worse and worse as time goes on.
Collect with 3 unanswered kills. That's the difference right now in this game. 3 kills separating these two teams. Sentinels with the edge because of the young gun's performance here, and he's continuing to pop off. Now on a killing spree. 44-41. Collect. It's funny because he just needs to maintain at this point, but maintaining is playing out of his mind. Can he continue? Yes! Sending Huss off the map. Mind the gap. Sentinels up 4.
Collect is just taking over this game. Yeah, what, he's on a 6-kill spree, so he was 6-11 before he starts this life, and this life has made all the difference for Sentinels. Unfortunately, he wanted that shroud screen, but one step too far, you can get punished, and that's what Avengers do. They punish, and they punish at the perfect time. Neurotical has the extra shields to work with and no pressure to pop it right away. When the time comes, he's going to activate this, and now he's on the charge. This heat wave in hand. Sentinels, they have to deal with the extra shielded Neurotical.
Neurotical needs to get in the mix. His team is now down 2. The pressure is not there with that heat wave. At this point, you don't even need the slays. You just need the pressure. But Neurotical takes down King Nick, 47-48. 3 players from the Sentinel side of the map pushing towards green, but they're Swish waiting. Swish and Neurotical have the pinch. 48-49, 49-49. It's a piv on the pillars. Who won it? It's going to be Avengers with the last second 50-49 finish. All 4 going down for Sentinels. What a heartbreaking finish for them.
Swish gets maximum value at the end. Let's break this down. Neuronical, right? We're talking like, let's get in this fight, but Neuronical, he still has plenty of overshield. There's no hurry for him, and now Swish gives him information. He sees all three, and Neuronical is salivating. He knows what needs to get done. Shout out to Precision for not playing too aggressively in that position. They're able to tie them all up. They're trapped at pillars. And it all comes down to Swish being at the right spot, right time, heading off that rotation, and then not getting melted, right? Swish gets a kill and holds them up at pillars, and suddenly this push that looks like it could be game winning for Sentinels turns to be game losing because there's nowhere that they can move.
Wow, 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 wow. And look how smart and cautious, you could even argue, Neuronical plays this. He dips away in a 49-49 game with an overshield still left. But it's the teamwork here. It's saying to Huss, hey, bud, I know you got that. I know you Hussy with the bussy as he finds the 50th kill, 14 kills, leading his squad. 50-49 game 2. Avengers up 2-0. Are they about to send Sentinels down to the lower bracket with a sweep and pool play? What?
This Avengers team, there's something about them that is just kryptonite for this Sentinels team. Last time they played, it was a 3-0 victory. It could be another 3-0. When Sentinels have gone down 0-2 in a series, they have not won against a top 16 team. A 0% win percentage.
Wow.
They need to change history.
Perfect.
And if history doesn't change, Garrett, I think this roster might. I'm just going to go out and say it. This is way too far below where this roster should be performing with the likes of 4 absolute superstars, legends, and OGs in their own right. Young up-and-comers and Collect. I just don't understand how a roster this good can't find a win against the likes of an upstart Avengers, which has only been teaming for a couple weeks. Swish was almost like a hand-me-down, right? A great player in his own right, but the way he joined this Avengers squad was a little disappointing for him. He thought he got dropped without cause from that previous squad, but he's looking like a perfect fit here on Avengers.
Let's be honest, he's not a hand-me-down. He's a thrift find. He's designer. When you're at the thrift store and you're like, this is $5? This is like 200 retail. You know what I'm saying? He is exactly what this team needed, and he was gifted to this Avengers roster. I don't know why he hit the free agent market, but he was the hottest free agent for about 2 days, and this team just swiped him right up, and it was for good cause. He's been a huge difference to this roster.
Yeah, this Avengers squad, they've found their 4th. Now they just need to find an org, and they're firing on all cylinders. A team like this, with a performance like this, deserves some support from an organization. So if you're watching at home, this is I'm going to tell you, as a GM in the league, as an owner in the league, this is a team that I would love to have in Avengers because they have heart. They got that dog in them.
And so far, they've been playing phenomenal, and that's continuing through. And this is, like you said, everything stacked up against Sentinels, right? We talked about their 0% win percentage. You're also playing their worst game type. Only 33% win percentage on strongholds against top 16 teams. There's obviously some work to be done with this roster.
Wow.
And well, this is a great time to test your mettle, to see what you're made out of, because you couldn't ask for a more daunting task for the Sentinels roster.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Sentinels starting the scoring with an AB hold, but that's all for not for long. B going already to Avengers, despite the fact that you have King Nick roaming with the Rockets. He's not putting up and putting the pressure on. Now he does, but it's almost too little too late, as the Avengers could probably put a foot on that hill and finish the cap. So despite the map control, the power position, power weapon control, it's Avengers scoring once again. And for what it's worth, B, that was just bait. Avengers, they'll take A and C and pinch you all day at B. This is unreal.
Like with a smart shroud screen to get Neuronical out of that fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save his teammate at the back as C. Precision's able to clean up 2 of them, and C safe for now, but those spike grenades, they can take anyone out from around a corner. Lethal gets the kill, but the job not done. Swish cleans it all up, and Sentinels, they keep putting resources into the middle fight, trying to finish it off, but Avengers have had the last laugh a couple times now, and it's resulting in a scoreline that just continues to get out of hand.
And there are just too many up-and-coming hungry players to rest on your laurels. And honestly, even if you are a world champion, even if you are the 2nd greatest Halo player of all time, there are too many up-and-coming players that want your spot. That's why even if you're in the likes of a top 8 team, there's several teams outside of the top 8 that are coming for those spots. We could see a changing of the guard, and I believe it's on display here in this very series.
Precision needs to go big. He gets a trade out, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh, it could be. Neuronical wins a huge fight. And King Nick, he has to back down, tries to take down Huss. These rockets are coming up, but Sentinels keep seeing the respawn screen. Colette gets a gifted spawn at C. That might be enough for these rockets to stay in the hands of Sentinels. Precision gets A, but I don't think they're going to be able to get away with these rockets.
Avengers are 3 down, holding 2 down for a while, but they have 2 cap points, A and B. How does Sentinels without numbers, how does Sentinels with rockets not have scoring? This is unbelievable. 3 down again for the Avengers, but it's 3+ seconds of scoring seemingly every second for them. It's almost like they have a trip cap, Garrett. This is unreal.
And it's tough because the last player that was alive was Neuronical, and he had the opening cutoff, and he might be able to buy just enough time, but maybe Avengers should have just let it go, right? Sometimes you got to realize I'm not going to get a hill, and this is going to be a great spot for Sentinels because now they're pressuring Trip Cap and sees it's still in their possession. You can see all of Avengers are trapped in the back base and a hill that they don't own. This is where Trip Caps get dangerous.
How does Avengers answer this? Oh my God, 3 caps on the board for Sentinels, but 3 down for them. How does Avengers respond here? Backs against the wall for the first time in this game, and they handle the pressure so well, almost as if they were the likes of Sentinels with all that experience on their team. They bounce right back instead and still be right back as well. Unbelievable performance here from Avengers, and for Sentinels, questions abound.
I mean, that was a huge break by Avengers, right? They're having so much pressure put down on them, but they were able to get Sentinels on a clean wipe. And now Precision, he's trying to goad Spartan to come into the Shadow Realm. He is going to be able to get the kill, but B looks to be more likely in Sentinel's favor. Swish with the shotgun's not going to be enough. And hey, that's 2015 lethal. That's prime lethal right there that we just saw.
Yeah, unbelievable play there. I couldn't believe. I think that was a ninja maybe even. So Lethal still has the moves despite being pretty deep into his career. Now has a potential to earn his team rockets and a comeback down by a margin of 2-1. Sentinels really need to go on a run here and earn some of those chunk gains we saw from Avengers, but they're not able to take advantage of rockets. Rockets down at the cap point or at the weapon pad, still bottom mid. Lethal fighting for those rockets with the Stalker rifle. But with this lead, AB, I like this. Elects to just shift over to the right and let one of the other teammates pick up the rockets instead with that lane he created with the Stalker rifle.
Nick's going to be able to find this first one. Look at Lethal on this flank. He's going to have a powerful position to get towards C. You start to see the cleanups for Collect. Lethal went down, but, you know, it's just... At best, you get a trip cap. At worst, you're at least going to have A/B control. So I love that push from Collect and Lethal. But his teammates, they need to not get taken down too fast, or else you're just going to see a counter right away. And, well, the players push in. They try to finish the cleanups. And unfortunately, it was Huss that stayed alive, and it allows the 2 cap to go back in favor of Avengers.
Wow. Wow. There's no way Sentinels gets 3-0 to the Avengers, right, Garrett? There's no way Sentinels go 3 down once again, 4 down. Neuronical gonna potentially earn a trip cap here for the Avengers. Heading into the 200 mark, it's Lethal capping C, but that's just to stop the bleeding. All of these caps for Sentinels are just to prevent Avengers from scoring more.
I was maybe a little out of pocket right there, trying to push into those players with Lethal and not having like any damage taken down on him. Swish just lights him up with the Sentinel beam, and that's going to be enough to at least keep them at bay for just a bit longer while the rest of the Avengers come to assemble at B, and they're taking down players left and right. Trades work in their advantage at the moment. Spartan's so annoying to play against sometimes. Look at this man going left, right. He finally gets taken down. And oh no, Spartan's still alive? No, that's not Spartan. Okay, that's King Nick. But you can see Precision, very smart, right? Not getting caught up in trying to get forward and punch him. He keeps his life. And because of that, it's going to make this game more and more likely to head down. We're talking about last second push for Sentinels, and they're hitting the respawn screen.
Swish the once protege of Sparty, will used to live with him and take a bunk bed in his room. Sparty, though, goes down to his once protege. Swish maybe becoming the master, at least in that series, as he puts up a 3-0 against his former roommate. Avengers sweep the Sentinels. Wow.
I think this Avengers roster just, it's a mental or something with Sentinels, because the Sentinels that we saw these last couple weeks have been much improved. I was thinking, hey, this is going to be a game 5, and realistically, like, this Slayer goes to Sentinels, right? We're talking about a 50-49. Like, this series could be really different if we do reach Argyle flag. Who knows where it goes? But we talked about what's the difference between the two teams, who cleans up the more kills, right? The damage outputs have been similar throughout, but Avengers have just been that little bit better at getting across the finish line.
Where's the Sentinels that took down Proton in their own tournament after Proton took down SSG, FaZe, G1? Proton looked like they couldn't drop a game to anybody. They lose to Sentinels just days ago. Hours ago, Garrett, let's take it even more recent. You have Sentinels who 3-0'd Optic on Empyrean CTF to start the tournament today in a 3-0 where Optic didn't even reach the mid-map on it. Was a plus 25 slay disparity for Sentinels. Where is that Sentinels, though? Again, top 2 was way too generous. This is a top 8-12 team or a top 24 team. We saw a little bit of a top 2 performance against Optic, but now we see here a Sentinel squad that could very well not even make it out of open bracket with the way they're playing. I know that sounds extremely harsh, but I think we're just spitting facts there. I think this is exactly what the Sentinels roster has looked like. They have not looked like they're here to perform or can even compete against the likes of an open bracket team at Avengers that had to earn their way into this series. So unbelievable, a changing of the guard indeed, as the Avengers take down Sentinels 3-0, and it was easy.
Yeah, there's just too much variance between the Sentinels that we get. You know, the Sentinels that's playing on full level power, they look like they can take down anyone. Like you said, the 3-0 versus Optic Gaming, but when they aren't clicking, they just get dominated in some games, and it's unfortunate because I really like the Sentinels roster. I want it to do well, but they just have growing pains to get through. And I think a lot of people are going to be counting on you. Like I think you said you would expect to see maybe team changes happening. I don't necessarily think that needs to happen at this moment. I think they can work through it, but there's definitely some work to be done.
I do too.
And I think they can get past this.
I do too. I think the Sentinels roster, again, I look at the roster, I'm like, this is a pretty, I would love this roster. I love the players on the roster. I think you have the greatest young player in Collect, and I love pairing him with an OG veteran like Lethal and Spartan. It's just, we just never see it. I can't come up with a reason for why Sentinels could look so good to start the day, look so good in previous tournaments, and then it's got to be online, right? Like, somebody's having lag spikes. There's no other logical reasoning for this, Garrett. Help me make sense of this.